So we have ourselves a little right triangle, and we're going to focus on a little 8th grade review. If you guys don't remember about your good old friend Mr. Sohcahtoa, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of how this little phrase or word can help you solve for trigonometry. When you're talking about the first section, we're talking about the word sine. When you're finding the sine, which can be found in your calculator, sine is basically, the rule goes, if we're talking about the sine of this angle, angle F, which is right here. If we're focusing here, imagine you're standing right there. Then we're going to focus on OH, which is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Well, the opposite side from this angle, you just got to go look forward, is actually going to be 12. And when we say the word hypotenuse, that's another vocabulary word. Hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. In other words, here's the right angle. The length opposite of it is the longest side, which is called the hypotenuse. So it's going to be a 12 over 13. Alrighty, what about cosine of f? That's the second section, ca. That will be cosine, the C for cosine, and the A is going to stand for adjacent over hypotenuse. And once again, the same thing. Hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is never going to change in a triangle. It's always the longest side. So we know that at the bottom, we're going to have a 13. And on top, adjacent, we're still talking about f here. Well, adjacent means the angle that's right next to it. Now, the angle's right next to it is already the hypotenuse. We don't want that. We're going to want the other side next to it, which will be 5. So the cosine of f is 5 over 13. And finally, the tangent of f, which is the TOA, would be opposite over adjacent. So tangent doesn't use a hypotenuse, but if we're still looking at f, we're looking at the opposite, which will be 12, over the adjacent, which will be 5. And that's basically how each one can be solved. Sine, cosine, and tangent. Don't forget Sohcahtoa, and life will be a lot simpler.